I'm Anna Soper. I'm a visual artist, writer, and librarian in Kingston, Ontario, Canada. Welcome to Teen People, the podcast inspired by my collection of Teen People magazines. Teen People was published between 1998 and 2006, and as the name suggests, was a spin-off of People magazine. While their bread and butter was A-list celebrities, their heart and soul was real teen content. Teen People didn't hire models. Instead, they scouted real teens to wear clothes and makeup in the magazine. They fostered a core of thousands of readers from across North America and beyond, a group they called trend spotters. If you were lucky, you might end up in Teen People, sharing your thoughts on a hot-button issue, or a poem you wrote for 10th grade English, or a fun message to a long-distance friend. Teen People also created a group of young journalists, the Teen People News Team, giving them some of their first bylines in a major print publication. In the year 2000, Teen People's then publisher Anne Zarin said presciently, "We make celebrities real and real teens celebrities." And unlike the other teen magazines, they printed their young content creators' full names, ages, and locations, which makes many of them pretty Googleable today. I founded this podcast in 2020 and have since interviewed roughly 30 people about being in Teen People magazine and how they're doing now as people in their 30s and 40s. In the past year, I've been leaning into my day job as a librarian by interviewing authors who just happen to be writing about the late 90s and early 2000s. In this episode, I'm celebrating the 25th anniversary of the new Millennium by leafing through the December 1999 and January 2000 double issue of Teen People magazine. Christina Aguilera is on the cover wearing an outfit you totally could have worn to a New Year's Eve party in 1999. Black low-waisted velvet trousers, a strappy beaded necklace, and a filmy chiffon tank top embroidered with pastel-colored flowers over an ice blue camisole. Her hair is flat-ironed in a long bob like Jennifer Aniston's and bleached practically white, while her huge blue eyes are circled with dark eyeshadow. She is posed in front of a silvery metallic background, typical of the futuristic aesthetic of the Y2K era. On the cover, a tagline reads, "Horoscope Special, Who You'll Love and How You'll Live in the Year 2000 and Beyond." At the end of this episode, I will read your Millennium mantra, so stick around and see how to optimize your life for the rest of this millennium. Join me as I walk us through this millennial time capsule, Teen People's Y2K double issue. A 1967 column in the New York Times forecasted that, quote, "the chic woman of the year 2000 may have live butterflies fluttering around her hairdo." We did not, but we did have butterfly clips, so they weren't completely off. Later, in his 1981 book Simulacra and Simulation, the French philosopher and cultural theorist Jean Baudrillard wrote about advertising at the end of the 20th century. Advertising is, quote, "the first manifestation of an uninterrupted thread of signs." In this context, quote, "one becomes transparent or uncountable, one becomes diaphanous or rhizomic to escape the point of inertia. One is placed in orbit, one is plugged in, one is satellized, one is archived." It does not feel like a coincidence that the futuristic and silver, global, aerodynamic aesthetic of the Y2K era emerged at this threshold. Here's what I think of when I think of those aesthetics: rounded corners, transparent electronics, graphic design elements incorporating CDs and barcodes, literally information storage objects, archival objects. While I'm guessing Baudrillard was not thinking about the aesthetics of teen magazine advertising of the late 90s, maybe he was, who am I to say, it is fascinating to read that paragraph, with all of that shimmering, body-glittering, inflatable plastic chair, see-through iMac, butterfly clips, silver clothing, all that stuff they sold us then in mind. So, I've started us off with some theory. Let's open up this issue of Teen People. We start off with the ads because before you get to a magazine's content, you wade through page after page of ads. This is a teen magazine from the late 90s and early 2000s. So, of course, the first ad you see is a 4-sheet foldout for Tommy Jeans, promoting the musical career of a pop star I do not remember. He broods at the camera in a pair of big jeans and a top that looks like a football jersey. On one of the other sheets, a young woman, a model posing as an adoring fan, smiles off camera in jeans and a Tommy Girl branded tube top under a silver rain jacket shrugged off her shoulders. Next, there's a Gap ad featuring a model in a Fair Isle patterned woolly hat and a puffy vest over jeans and a turtleneck. An American Eagle ad features a couple in snow gear on a snowmobile, which I think is the most clothing anyone in an American Eagle ad has ever worn. The ad includes a URL, www.ae.com, and the trademarked tagline, "Shop in your underwear." What a concept. Two models star in a Todd Oldham ad. Both are wearing frosty makeup. One has a very on-trend silver puffy coat, and they are both surrounded by clip art of snowflakes and icicles. An ad for red pony hair clogs available at Macy's features a random barcode motif, and below it the text 2000, as in the year, with no other contextualizing information, like it just says 2000 in the top left corner of the page, because presumably the ad executive was like, we're advertising summer shoes in a winter issue, gotta tie it into the new year somehow. Finally, after several pages, you get to the table of contents. A little box at the bottom of the page includes the details of Christina Aguilera's cover look. To copy this look, it says, try makeup by CoverGirl CG Smoothers Gel Eye Color in Midnight Rose and CG Shine Lip Glaze in Pink Dream. A few pages later, there's a separate table of contents of sorts, promoting Teen People's website, which was then exclusively on America Online under the AOL keyword Teen People. Not being American, I don't actually even recall whether you had to subscribe to AOL to access online content on AOL. And did we even have AOL in Canada? Could I have seen any of this Teen People web content? My dad had an account with the local internet company, which provided me with dial-up internet and him with an email address he never checked. At this time, we had a big beige computer running Windows 98. I liked playing Minesweeper, although I was never particularly good at it. I liked the screensaver with the colorful pipes. I liked the Ask Jeeves search engine with the cartoon butler. A close second was Yahoo, with its directory of websites arranged by subject. No wonder I became a librarian. The computer sat on a desk, the kind you sometimes see memorialized on those nostalgia meme accounts. It had a built-in CD shelf, which was very handy, and a cubby for the computer tower. Over time, however, the monitor alarmingly discolored the light veneer. I recall it had a sticker on it that said it was low radiation, but perhaps not low radiation enough. The internet was clearly not what it is now, which is an understatement, but glossing over all of the differences between that internet and our internet, I find it fascinating to consider Teen People's early online presence. Here's what you could find on Teen People's AOL site in December 1999. They had horoscopes, puzzles, and games, chat rooms, poll questions, something they called e-pics, pics with an X, and a celebrity gossip feature called Cool Feud. Teen People walked so Perez Hilton could run. That month's special features included a page called Y2K Hooray! Get ready for the next millennium with our year-end extravaganza featuring astrological predictions, style forecasts, and more. That's what's in this magazine, so it sounds like they essentially reproduce the print content online. Turning the page, there's a double spread of Skechers shoes featuring a diverse group of young models at a New Year's Eve party. They're clustered together, dancing, wearing sneakers, chunky platform sandals, and lace-up dress shoes for the guys. Their party clothes include strappy mini dresses, sparkly crop tops, and nylon cargo pants, and prom suits. The copy reads, Skechers, USA 2000, Happy New Year. A Maybelline ad promotes a product called Cool Effect Cooling Cream Eye Color, which sounds like nothing I want to put on my eyes. New shades that cool as they color, says the copy, and I'm wondering what kind of focus group this product came out of. Ladies, are your eyes too hot? The colors include shades named Steely Gaze, Cold as Ice, Lilac Freeze, and Cool as a Cucumber. I'm guessing this product had maybe menthol in it or something, but again, I don't want that on my eyes. The model I recognize as Josie Moran, one of several completely ubiquitous faces of that time. Her eyes and lips are frosty, a Y2K aesthetic that could be seen in product design, fashion, and beauty, early mobile technology, and advertising. Everything was silver, from the $2,500 Sony robot dog photographed with Britney Spears in a 2000 issue of Teen People, to your cooling eye makeup, to the Roxy Quicksilver quartz watches and Conair styling tools advertised in Teen People. A few pages later, a Claire's ad features a young model in a shiny silver party dress with eye glitter, frosty lips, and silver costume jewelry. The text reads, Millennium Glitz 2000 Claire's, which, like much of the copy in these ads, makes no sense, but it just says the word 2000, so we're good. It's, again, a symbol more than anything else. And not just a symbol, but a promise. Speaking of silver, another ad for silver jeans says, you only get one turn of the century, so make it memorable and make it count with silver jeans. All of the Y2K Millennium Bug paranoia is a subject for another episode, but was absolutely part of the uncertainty and lore and mysticism around the year 2000, reflected in this Teen People. It's hard to overstate how preoccupied people were with the idea that the transition from 1999 to 2000 was literally a pivotal moment. Even as a kid, I sensed this. I'm a librarian, and of the nonfiction items in our collection, I always pause when I spot something from the 90s, writing about the new millennium and what it was going to mean, how being in the 2000s was going to transform society, how we could transform ourselves, our communities, and our world. There are so many cultural and political and social factors at play, but to put it simply, the year 2000 became a talisman in people's minds. It represented everything that's symbolic of a threshold, both hope and anxiety. Things were going to be different in the 21st century. The adults who were writing these books, putting together a magazine like this issue of Teen People, believed and told us that life would change. They didn't know how, but it would, and it would be better. On the next episode of Teen People, I speak with the American author Colette Shade, a writer whose essay collection Y2K, How the 2000s Became Everything, Essays on the Future That Never Was, will be published in January 2025.
What the Y2K era was characterized by was this belief that everything would expand forever and that the line would always go up. Also that we could settle things without politics, right?
Subscribe to Teen People, the podcast, so you'll receive a notification when I post Colette's episode. Okay, back to Teen People, the magazine. On page 32 of this Y2K issue, Teen People's news team were asked their opinions on schools and religious holidays. Oh, where is it? Page 32. Where is it? It can't be page 32. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. This is a season that brings joy to the world and headaches to school administrators who have to make delicate decisions. Does celebrating only the holiday of the majority of students, and that's often Christmas, amount to discrimination? Should schools try instead to incorporate all religious traditions in their festivities? Or does any celebration blur the line between church and state? We asked our news team to reflect on their own school experiences and tell us where they stand on this tough issue. 4 Teen People news team members contributed to this story. One of them was a 20-year-old from Littleton, Colorado. After the terrible tragedy of the Columbine shootings in my town, she said, referencing the 1999 mass shooting at Columbine High School, I can't stress enough the importance of giving kids the opportunity to share their spirit, happiness, and excitement. Holiday spirit, like school spirit and American pride, is something essential to society today. We need all we can get! ! A magazine like Teen People was not just about the issues, but also a marketing vehicle, evidenced by all the ads and shopping guides for holiday must-haves. The new CDs listed in Teen People's trend pages include Will Smith's Millennium. I see what you did there, Will Smith. 1999 by Prince. Millennium by Backstreet Boys. I'm sensing a trend here. And This Christmas by 98 Degrees, which includes an a cappella version of Ave Maria, presumably to convince teenage girls' parents just how wholesome these young lads were. On the next page, a shirtless male model in jeans and a bucket hat poses in a CK1 ad that features an email address for the guy over his abs, and I have so many questions. Could you actually email this account? Who would write back? Someday I will do this for you, and I will let you know what I hear. They'll probably just put me on some mailing list. A pull-out section of Old Navy branded wrapping paper kicked off Teen People's holiday gift guide, which tells you just how much money there was in print magazines and print-only advertising 25 years ago. Teen People's gift guide is its own time capsule, showcasing ideas at a variety of price points, including makeup, accessories, and electronics. Here, Teen People features a collection of inspirational pocket stones, which are flat pebbles. I don't know what they're made of, but they retailed for $10 each in 1999. Are you kidding me? And they have words and symbols on them, like dream and a heart shape. And guess what color they are? They're silver, of course. But this is the kind of thing you could just make yourself. A collection of Power Bar Feng Shui soaps will, quote, gently cleanse any body and mind, says the text. This is an interesting example of the global aesthetic marketed to young Westerners, selling soaps and incense and body art and clothes and accessories like saris and sarongs, a trend Sunaina Maira describes as Indo-chic fantasies and late capitalist Orientalism. The fantasy continues with an incense holder featuring an ice blue Buddha resting zenfully at the base of the stick. On the next 2 pages, Teen People promotes mirror-studded bangles from India sold by Aldo and a, quote, Indian-inspired cuff for the friend who's intrigued by all things Eastern. The cuff is photographed with some sporty accessories, a pair of really nice-looking wool LL Bean socks in an indigo blue with orange and green accents, a bright yellow fleece scarf from the Gap, and a pair of blue fleece slippers with a cute little bungee adjuster at the back of the ankle from American Eagle. The turn of the century from the 20th to the 21st is a theme found in one more ad I'll tell you about. It's an ad for an over-the-counter painkiller. The premise is this: life is too good to feel bad, and it features a photo of a hypothetical average teenage girl's ring-bound monthly planner, open to December 1999. She is a busy girl. She has marked up basically every single square on this calendar. So, on December 1st, she had French club and a basketball game. Her parents' wedding anniversary was December 2nd. She got paid on December 3rd. On the 8th, she wrote, get together with Jim for science project. Susan's birthday was Friday the 10th. On Monday, the 13th, she wrote in all caps, broke up with Rich, an entry underlined 3 times. The next day, she had to work from 4 to 8 p.m. PA Day on the 17th, shopping on the 18th. She and Rich got back together on the 21st, an entry annotated with 3 hearts. School was closed that week. On the 23rd, she wrote, wrap all presents. On the 24th, give Rich present. Christmas was spent at Grandma's house, a date highlighted in red marker. The next week was payday and New Year's Eve, and underneath the bottle of painkiller resting on the planner's open pages, you can see the handwritten numbers 2000 in the box for January 1st. So again, this is one of several ads throughout this issue of Teen People, where the date 2000 is used as a symbol of this powerful yet ultimately kind of deflating threshold. So let's close this time capsule with this issue's final feature, the horoscope special, which not only forecasts your year ahead, but the whole millennium itself. Each sign includes predictions of the year 2000's lucky months, your future ambitions, your family and friends, but also, to highlight that Indo-chic fantasy aesthetic once more, your Millennium mantra. Teen People was created for boys and girls, which was an unusual approach to the teen magazine market at the time, but actually a sensible marketing move, as it opened up the magazine's readership and subscription base just a little bit more. So that's interesting, but in this context, in this horoscope feature, it becomes a bit problematic from a 2025 perspective because their astrologers wrote gendered horoscopes. Yes, that's right. In other words, if you were a Capricorn and a boy, you would read the his horoscope, and if you were a Capricorn and a girl, you'd read the hers horoscope. So, with that premise in mind, let me leave you with your Millennium mantra. Sagittarius, his. Knowledge speaks, but wisdom listens. Hers, if at first you succeed, try harder. Capricorn, his. Change is constant. Benjamin Disraeli. Hers. A bend in the road is not the end of the road, unless you miss the turn. Bit ominous. Aquarius, his. The squeakiest wheel gets the grease, unless it just gets replaced. Hers. Work to become, not to acquire. Elbert Hubbard. No, not the Scientologist, but the anarchist, author, and socialist, of course. Pisces, his. There is no gift like the present. That's true. Hers. The race for quality has no finish line. Aries, his. Obstacles are an optical illusion. Hers. Mediocrity is the mother of reinvention. Boredom breeds brand newness. Taurus, his. Life is what you make it. Strife is what you don't. Hers. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. Sun Tzu. Gemini, his. Life is short. Move very slowly. Hers. When all else fails, persistence prevails. Cancer, his. Success is all luck. Any failure will tell you that. Hers. You see obstacles only when you take your eyes off the prize. That's a good one. Leo, I like these ones. His. Do or do not. There is no try. Yoda. Hers. Nothing bugs your enemies more than forgiving them. Ooh. Virgo, his. Diversity is what we have in common. Hers. She who is afraid to do too much always ends up doing too little. Libra, his. I am not young enough to know everything. Oscar Wilde. Hers. The best place to find a helping hand is at the end of your arm. I feel like Audrey Hepburn said that, but she's not quoted in here. Scorpio, his. In the book of life, the answers are not in the back. Charlie Brown. Hers. Happiness isn't getting what you want, it's wanting what you have. Profound. This is the 4th episode of Teen People, the podcast, inspired by this particular issue of Teen People, the magazine. In 2020, I interviewed 2 people who were featured in this issue of Teen People, Preston Drum and Robin Knudsen. Both were in a street-style feature scouted by Robin on the streets of Charlotte, North Carolina. The 3rd episode inspired by this issue is an interview with the curator Jenny Mushkin Goldman. She spoke with me after the rollback of Roe v. Wade in 2022 about an incident that took place at her high school in the summer of 1999, when a group of teenage anti-abortion protesters, led by a now disgraced evangelical youth pastor, ambushed her high school campus. She was quoted in the Teen People story about this incident, and speaking with me all those years later, her thoughts were both reflective and prescient. That seemed fringe at the time, said Jenny, of those protesters, but they're not the fringe. They're our government, she added. Find Preston's, Robin's, and Jenny's episodes by scrolling back through my feed. If you enjoy my work, please leave a rating or review, or find me on Twitter and Instagram at TeenPeoplePod. Come back soon for my next episode, an interview with Colette Shade about her book Y2K, How the 2000s Became Everything, Essays on the Future That Never Was. So, with that, Happy New Year. Happy 25th anniversary of the start of this millennium. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.